Good morning. I'm meteorologist Kevin Smith here at the National Weather Service office in Pocatello with your weather hazard briefing for Thursday, April 4th. Unfortunately, folks, it's the last day. We've had some amazing spring weather. We've had some gorgeous temperatures, at least for a good chunk of our forecast area here for several days, even with a low pressure system lurking just to our west. Along the Pacific coast, we've been able to pull multiple days out of the hat here, holding most of the thunderstorms off, at least for western portions of the forecast area, giving a lot of you dry conditions. We're going to only be able to do it one more day. Rinse and repeat what we saw yesterday. One more mild spring day. Forecast for today, south and east of the Central Mountains and east of the Magic Valley. Dry conditions, a mix of sun and clouds, a little more cloud cover compared to yesterday. Continued warm temperatures, while further west, showers and thunderstorms develop again across that Central Mountains and Magic Valley corridor, very similar to what we saw yesterday. There will be one big difference in the weather compared to yesterday, and that is going to be stronger south winds. Very noticeable across the entire region with gusts to 35 miles per hour region-wide. May need to secure a few of those loose outdoor objects out there today, particularly before the winds ramp up late this morning. May see a little bit of localized blowing dust as well. One area we're really keying in on for the strongest wind is south of Burley and south of American Falls, down across the Albion Mountains, parts of Cassia County, the Raft River region, all the way down to the Utah border. This is where we're expecting south winds of 25 to 40 miles per hour sustained, with gusts to 55 miles per hour down in this area. And that will lead to some concerns for hazardous driving for some high-profile vehicles, and particularly empty and lighter semi-trucks as well. Show you that graphically here in just a moment. Finally, that low-pressure system that's been lurking off to our west, it's been hanging out along the Pacific coast, is going to march inland on Friday. No changes here. We've been advertising this for a couple days. It's going to bring more widespread rain and snow shower activity to the entire region, not just the Central Mountains this time. We'll have more wind continuing through the weekend and also much colder temperatures that I'll show you here in just a moment. So, weather risk outlook. Hey, there's some good news here. Look at Monday. We're getting out of the colored shading here. We're getting to the end of the storm, and there are some signals that a decent chunk of next week may be dominated by high pressure and drier conditions compared to the multi-day active period here that we're going to see first. But anyway, Thursday, starting off today, just breezy, but still nice and mild. Really a pleasant day outside of a little bit of that wind for most of the Snake Plain, most of the southern, southeastern and northeastern highlands as you get into the eastern part of the forecast area along and east of I-15. Elsewhere, as you head further west into the Magic Valley and then up into our various zones here in the Central Mountains, chance of those rain and snow showers, snow up very high above pass level, and some thunderstorms yet again today. We did go to more of a moderate risk level shading here across what we're calling the South Hills for wind. This is down toward Oakley, Rockland, Malta, the I-84 corridor south of I-86. And this is where we're expecting those stronger winds today. We have a wind advisory out down across that area. Show you more here in just a moment. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, more widespread activity, widespread breezy conditions, widespread rain and snow showers, trending colder with more and more snow as we head into Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Will be kind of a transition on temperatures here. Friday with still rain showers mixing in for most of the region at lower elevations. We'll try to show some of this graphically here in just a moment as well. We did go with a little bit windier wording again across the South Hills for Friday, where the winds will be just a bit stronger, but breezy conditions certainly across most of the rest of the region, continuing right into at least Saturday. I'll show you all 3 days here in just a moment. Starting to see colors here on our watch warning advisory map as that system marches our way, but if you zoom in here across just our southeast Idaho forecast area, we have that wind advisory that is in effect here again south of Burley, south of American Falls, in the area shaded here in brown, and our neighboring weather service offices out of Boise and Salt Lake City have also issued wind advisories as you get down into northwestern Utah and south of Twin Falls. So that is the area of concern for the strongest winds today, with some implications there, some hazards for high-profile vehicles and some driving. But elsewhere, just breezy. Again, some thunderstorms in the Central Mountains, but we don't have any formal alerts in effect for the rest of you here locally. Can certainly see that system marching in here on the satellite loop this morning. Lots of cloud cover. Can see still some breaks in the clouds here over eastern portions of the forecast area. We will see, I think, a mix of sun and clouds today. More cloud cover than the past couple days, but not the end of the world. And then the further west you go, again, showers and thunderstorms and much more cloud cover here, particularly as we get into the afternoon and evening. We never really shut down that shower and thunder shower activity here overnight. You can see the current radar loop early this morning still showing some precipitation hit and miss here in this corridor from Boise and Jerome up across portions of the Central Mountains, including Chalice, Stanley, and Sun Valley. So some of you may be waking up to at least clouds, if not some falling precipitation, mostly rain here this morning. And this corridor is going to be lit up again today for additional showers and thunderstorms. Low temperatures this morning shown here. Nothing terribly exciting or impressive there. If we look back to yesterday, where did we see those thunderstorms? Well, here's the cloud-to-ground lightning strikes that were recorded yesterday afternoon and evening. Very easy to see the corridor here that saw that activity. Very close to what we actually forecast here, really focused on the Central Mountains. You can see quite a bit of clustering of those cloud-to-ground lightning strikes at the northern end of the Wood River Valley and also up near Stanley. You can see a few of those showers and storms actually escaped just a bit further east than we were expecting, getting out toward Arco and Atomic City and also up near Oneida Pass. We actually did have one high-res model that was hinting at this, but in general, it was right along the eastern periphery of what we were expecting yesterday. This is, again, very similar to what we're looking for today. I think areas from Arco to Oneida Pass, again, you're going to be on the far eastern periphery of the best potential for showers and storms today, but places like Jerome and Shoshone, up across Haley, Mackey, points to the north and west will be under the gun again. And that's shown well here on the severe weather outlook from our agency's Storm Prediction Center. A little bit of shading here for a marginal risk of an isolated severe thunderstorm today. This is actually a little further west than the area that was under the marginal risk yesterday, so I think most of this is going to be out toward the Boise region, but a few of those stronger cells may get close to Stanley. And then you can see the kind of the eastern edge of that expected corridor here, mostly staying to the west out of the Snake Plain. So let's walk through temperatures and wind gusts over the next 3 days. So each of these next three images, we're going to be looking at your high temperatures here on the left and your wind gusts here on the right. Kicking off today, very similar temperatures to yesterday. Lots of upper 50s to upper 60s. May lose a few degrees here in the Central Mountains, again, because we're increasing the cloud cover. We're continuing to have some of that shower activity up across that area, but otherwise very similar. And then over here on the right, generally a southerly wind bringing in much stronger winds today. The entire region gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour, maybe a little bit lighter here along the Wyoming border. And you can see that area under the wind advisory here, south of American Falls, south of Burley, down to the Utah border. Gusts of 50, 55 miles an hour certainly expected, and we may see a couple higher gusts here as well. So again, down across this area, if you are traveling with a high-profile vehicle, if you're in a semi-truck, particularly that it's lighter weight or empty, in some spots here along I-84 and some of the adjacent local highways, there may be a decent crosswind, okay, this afternoon and this evening, particularly from about noon to about 10 or 11 p.m. tonight. So be mindful of that, maybe some hazardous driving conditions down there. And particularly down across this area, but everywhere that we're expecting the stronger gusts today, may want to secure or bring inside those loose outdoor objects here by late this morning before the winds start to ramp up. As we step into Friday, I'm going to toggle here today and Friday. Let's do it again. Today, warmer temperatures. There's your wind. Friday, start to see those cooler temperatures, slightly lower winds, but still breezy. But over here on the left, you can see those readings starting to back off about 7 to 10 degrees. Highs getting up into the upper 40s to mid 50s, depending on your location. And remember, widespread rain and snow showers across the region Friday as that low finally marches inland over our area. Most of the snow accumulations are going to be up really high above pass level for Friday, but that's going to change as we go into Friday night and Saturday. I'll show you snow in just a moment. Over here on the right, still looking at generally a south to a little bit of a southwest wind across the region. Lots of gusts 25 to 30 miles an hour, and you can see areas in the orange and red shading here up across Lemhi County, the Lost River Range, and then down again into the Raft River area. We may see gusts in excess of 40 miles an hour again, so continued breezy. Let's step forward one more day. Here's Saturday. We'll toggle Friday, Then kicking off the weekend here Saturday. Changes in both temperature and wind. We get much colder here for high temperatures on the left, readings in the mid 30s to mid 40s now, depending on where you're located. And this is going to increasingly support more snow than rain for most areas. May still see some rain showers on Saturday, mixing up the eastern Magic Valley and Snake Plain corridor, but mountains certainly favoring snow. And our winds over here on the right are now out of the west. So we'll see a westerly flow with strong winds coming in across the eastern Magic Valley into the lower Snake Plain. Again, Raft River, Cassia County, getting in on this as well with widespread gusts over 40 miles an hour and maybe a little bit higher down across that region. And still noticeably breezy just about region-wide here Saturday as we continue this multi-day storm system. Here's a broad look at new snowfall from today right through Saturday night. So this is going to be Thursday plus Friday plus Saturday. Looks almost a little bit impressive, but if you really look at the valleys, even across the mountain ranges here, we're talking 3-day totals generally ranging from a dusting to just a couple inches. Maybe 3 to 4 inches for Stanley, maybe 3 inches or so for Driggs, an inch or two in Ashton, a little bit higher at Island Park, again, over a 3-day period. Very light accumulations as you get down into the Snake Plain, generally an inch or less. The areas that really stand out are up here high in the mountains, generally above pass level, where we do have 6 to 12 plus inches up there in the backcountry. I think as far as highway impacts, Banner Summit and Galena Summit up here in the Central Mountains have the best potential to see multiple inches of snow, maybe 4, 5, 6 or more at those summits. So there will be some localized travel impacts there. Maybe Immigration Summit down here to the west of Montpelier, seeing some higher snowfall totals as well. So do bear that in mind if you're traveling into the mountains. Given how late we are in the season, the marginal temperatures, we haven't issued any alerts yet as far as things like winter weather advisories here. It's hard to target where we might actually see travel impacts down low enough here to some of the passes or highways. We'll continue to monitor that here over the next day or two. And finally, as we've been talking about the rivers, we started talking about this yesterday. Broadly, there'll be some rises on the Henry's Fork. There'll be some rises on the Snake, but broadly not expecting flooding across almost all of our rivers and creeks for this next 7-day period or so with the system coming through. But we're watching closely the Portneuf River. We'll start over toward the east, upriver here, over toward Lava Hot Springs. That's where the topaz gauge is. The blue line showing what the river's been doing the past few days, and then the dotted purple line here is the forecast. And you can see we are running very close to yellow. What is yellow? That's action stage. That means bank full conditions out there toward Lava and McCammon. So we'll be watching that. Not currently expected to get to actual minor flood stage there. That's good news. And then as we head downriver into the Pocatello area along the Portneuf, you can see that, again, we're very close to that yellow action stage, very close to bankful. We should reach or exceed bankful here over the course of today. And then the forecast still touches at least the low end of official minor flood stage by the time we get late into the evening Friday or early Saturday morning. Unless this changes, if we do reach this level, we'll be watching for maybe some impacts with some minor flooding down in Sacagawea Park in Pocatello. Also some fields down toward Ingham, where the Marsh Creek and the Portneuf River come together. It's another area that likes to start seeing some impacts at minor flood stage. So bear that in mind. We're going to continue to look at this, continue to monitor in case we do need any flood watches, warnings, or advisories here going forward. But outside the Portneuf River, again, not expecting flood issues so far for this flood season here as we look at this next system. So a lot going on there, but that's the summary of our weather here for the next 5 days. If you have any questions, comments, concerns from us, you can reach us here at the office 24/7 using the information shown on this slide. And everyone have a safe and great Thursday.